Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of One Piece. So, we got introduced to Power, and she's joined the team. Best girl arrived, I guess. Yeah, best girl arrived. I guess it's safe to say. I tried working on her voice, but I'm afraid it's gonna have to be a very high pitch. It's gonna have to be a very, very high pitch. So, the best to what I could do. Originally, I was gonna give her a southern accent, but founder members, how dare you? How dare you, my good sir? But that slipped up and ended up just doing that. Oh my gosh! Just kept it all normal. So yeah, it's gonna be high pitch. So in our last episode, in our last show, Denji started experiencing life, having food and everything, and then they went on a mission. To which Aki was not too thrilled with Denji's logic, and then they got paired up with a third wheel in the name of Power. So, yeah, there we go. So let's not waste too much time. And let's get started with One Piece. Not One Piece. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man. I still have One Piece on the brain. One Piece on the brain. Never have One Piece on the brain. It's an addictive thing. Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Chapter 5. A Way to Touch Some Boobs. Denji and Pawa walking on top of the roof of the ceramic classes. Pawa is swerving her head, looking all over the place as Denji carried his axe without a care in the world, wondering what is going on here. Then suddenly, Power throws a punch and whacked Denji upside the head. Human, hurry up and let me kill something. I thirst for blood. Denji just stood there, wondering what the heck is going on. Then he continued walking on, ignoring her. I could forgive some craziness as long as she's pretty. The issue is, how am I gonna touch those pubes? Pawa, frustrated, screamed out, frustrated, stared at the cat. Meanwhile, Denji remembered what Makima said. Fiends have targets for extermination, same as Deltas. But Power has high mental faculties, so I put her in Hayakawa's garage. They continue looking around at the roof as he continued listening, hearing Makima's advice. But Hans will attract attention, so only patrol places with little traffic. Welcome to the show. 日本できますか? No, I'm in the U.S. right now. I'm in the U.S. right now. Welcome to the show, Bongu 11. Can I speak Japanese? はい。少し日本語を話します。日本語を勉強します。今は日本語の学生。月曜日は日本語のライブストリームをします。You can catch my Japanese language live streams on Mondays if you want to join. Edit this out. Denji and Makima stood before a pair of police officers, to which then he remembered what Makima's advice. If you run into any civilians, devil hunters, or get questioned by police. Denji immediately showed his badge. We're with Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division 4, sirs. He raised his fingers up as a peace sign. Welcome to the show, Bongu 11. If you tell them that and show them your badge, Makima's memory advice said, they should scowl and leave you alone. The police officers walked away scowling as Denji looked at his photo in his ID badge. And he continued listening to Makima's advice. As I said before, Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division 4 is an experimental squad. If we can deliver results, the higher-ups might break it up at any time. You know, you two don't know what happened to you then, right? To which Power, sharing the same advice and advice thoughts as Denji realized, we're gonna die. Meanwhile, Denji and Power hanging out, and Denji screamed out, there aren't any devils at all. Yeah, likely because of me, the Power said, wiping her nose with a big smile on her face. Before I became a fiend, I was greatly feared devil. The nobody devils all flee from my scent, I'm sure. Wait, how? Denji looked back in shock. Then how are we gonna deliver results? To which he remembered Makima's advice. If you have any questions, ask Hayakawa. He's the one who paired you two up. And Denji had a thought. That jerk. How many times do I have to kick him in the balls? He set me up, did he? La. As he thought of Aki sticking his tongue out. Denji continued thinking, he teamed me up with Power to keep me from showing what I got. He's trying to force me out. Power leaned forward and took a long sniff. I smell blood. Oh, blood. Wait, whoa, where do you think you're going? Denji said, looking out as she ran at high speed. She's fast. I can't keep up with her. Fight time, battle time. She said, running, and jumped right off the roof, free falling as she slit her wrist, blood gushing out, and a mallet formed. And as she falls butt first to the ground, a giant mallet towered over her head. And at the bottom, a guy was on the phone, in the phone booth, staring out at a weird demon of fingers and a skull, all twiddling about, and a weird opening at the top, near Nerima Station. Yeah, there's some kind of scene here, lockdown, and civilians are activated, requesting backup at Nerima Station. It's a sea cucumber devil. A sea cucumber devil, that's right. Huh? No, I said, and suddenly a loud splash blared across the street, guts flying all over the place. The man says, she, and suddenly stopped as blood splattered onto the window of the phone booth, and there she was, using the mallet to break her fall. Power smashed the whole entire thing into goo. Cumber? The hunter said, staring in shock, as Power towered over her victim, head in the air, her arms outreached. I did it! The glory is mine! And the mallet stood in place. Makima showed up at the scene as men cleaned up the whole entire area. She's listening in on their excuse, and she recapped. It's considered obstruction of justice when a public safety hunter kills a devil a civilian hunter is already engaged with. Normally you get arrested for it. The Power looked away in disgust. Denji was shocked. Power, you need to think a little more before you act. She said. And Denji, you need to keep it under your control. Really? You're blaming me too? Why? Power, Makima said. Since you're a blood devil before you became a fiend, battling and using blood is your specialty, but you're sort of excitable. Maybe you weren't cut out to be a devil hunter. Oh, no. This guy said to kill it. He did. I swear. Oh! Denji looked back at her in horror as her whole body shivered like a leaf in the wind in total shock. I never said that, not even close, Denji said in total denial. You're gonna really lie and throw me under the bus like that? I'm not lying. He said it. Power continued pointing as her fingers twitched in fear. This human commanded me to kill the devil. It's true. What a creep! Denji pointed back in anger. Seriously, Miss Makima, this devil's a liar. You should be arrested. Power, you're gonna get arrested for the crime of lying and defaming or whatever. I'll sue. I know some lawyers. No, this deceiver told me to do it. He whispered in my ear. Devils can't lie. Only humans lie. That's not a thing. You devil liar. You're the proof. Stupid face. You're lying liar. Humans tell nasty lies. I only did as I told. I was the truth. I was possessed. Quit talking all weird and to sound cooler than you are. It's really creepy. Can you two be quiet? Makima said calmly, and Power went into absolute silence. I can. She looked away in absolute fear. Oh, good girl, Power. Honestly, I don't really care which one of you is at fault. I want to see big things from two of you. Do you think you could show me that? Her eyes stared hard at Power, invoking total fear from the blood demon, the blood devil itself. I'll show you. And Denji stood completely confused. Moments later, Denji stood before a vending machine, trying to figure out what he wants. He thought, maybe this isn't the time to be thinking about pubes, but I'm interested. Meanwhile, Power continued staring deeply, gazing into the vending machine, wondering what's in there. To which then a cat yelled out, "Yeah." Power looked back at it. "Oh," Denji said, looking at the can. "Getting to have soft drinks is like a dream come true. But if we keep screwing up, it'll be way worse than not getting to have soft drinks anymore. Still, I can't work with some liar chick." He looked back at Power, caressing the little cat that stood before her. "Only I can get along with cats," she said. "I hate humans, not because they did anything to me," she said. "It's like a devil instinct. I just do. Cats are awesome. And I hate devils too, because a devil made off with my pet Meowmy." Nyako. Proper. Huh? Denji listened on as Power continued talking. "Makima caught me before I could get Nyako back. Nyako might already be dead, but I can't give up. So," she continued, caressing the cat as it leaned onto her shoulder, "if I can just get Nyako back from that devil, I'd do anything, even ally with a human. I doubt you'd understand such sentiment for the likes of a cat." "For a cat? Yeah, that's stupid. Dogs, however, they're worth it. And I'd do anything to touch some pubes too, though." Denji took a sip from his can of coffee. "Sure enough, I can't comprehend humans." She continued caressing the cat. Oh, but if it was a dog, I might get it too." "What if I said I'd let you touch my chest?" "If you get Nyako back from the devil for me, that is." "Oh!" Denji looked in shock, frozen, like looking at her like a deer in front of headlights. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and crushed the can. "That dang devil! Oh? How dare they kidnap that poor cat? Oh. That's totally unforgivable, right?" "Yeah," Power said as she leaned back towards his advancement, and the cat continued to smile as she caressed it. "As a devil hunter, I can't let him get away with it. It's the principles." "Yeah," Power agreed. "I'll murderize that devil." Denji yelled out in declaration. To be continued. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 5. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Service. By Tatsuki Fujimoto. Denji and Power were at an office, sitting across from the guy. He provided them with some information. Your day leave request for the Fiend Power is approved. Be back by 5 o'clock. You can't even go it on your own?
No.
She replied to Denji.
I was so bored being in here all the time, so I escaped.
They exited out of the building with their curfew orders. The trolley rolls on by as the crowd walk casually without a care in the world. Inside the trolley, Power sat down and spoke.
I know where to find the devil who took Nyanko. The problem is that only you can fight it.
Denji leaned to the side, listening on.
If it sees me, it'll use Nyanko as a shield. Then it will be checkmate.
Denji's eyes zoomed in on her boobs. He lowered them for more focus. Power just sat there quietly as he spoke to her while concentrating at her chest. I had a pet too. This devil named Pochita. I can't ever pet him again, but it's okay. Denji said with a calm smile. Because he's alive inside me, right here. He pat his chest.
Humans are so foolish,
Power replied. Say what? Denji looked pissed.
That means Pochita died, does it not? The dead have no life, you know. They're in my heart or whatever. That's pathetic consolation you humans have. That's why we beat you guys up. Oh.
Denji continued staring at her boobs. Yeah, you're so right, Denji said. And as he continued looking on at Power's face, he thought, there's no way I can be friends with this chick. And there they sat, far apart from each other, in the trolley on their way to Power's little gamble. Meanwhile, back at the office, Makima stood before the committee as they read their report and gave their assessment. The Soviet war hawks are getting louder over the American matter. We're also hearing rumors that they're using devils for military purposes. We can only pray that the devils remain Japan's only enemies. Makima, are the dogs in the squad we gave you coming along?
I have one dog that's promising and one that's interesting,
she said. Interesting.
A puppy that I recently took in.
And they started writing down the notes. Your job is to train dogs and use them. Be sure not to get attached to them.
Ah, I understand.
And the door slammed. Makima was inside the car with Aki at the wheel driving, rolling along the streets. Aki spoke. Denji is disgusting. There's nothing interesting about him. The boy got no hope. Why do you have such high hopes for him anyway? Makima took a sip of coffee and then replied,
All devils are born with a name. The more that name is feared, the more powerful the devil is itself.
And she said as the car passed by the business district.
Coffee that has no scary mental image whatsoever. If there was a coffee devil, it probably would be weak,
she said, staring at the warm coffee.
But what if there was a car devil? That conjured up the mental image of getting run over and dying, so that might be strong,
she said. Aki remained silent.
Then she can turn into a chainsaw devil.
To which Aki slowly turned to the side and his eyes widened.
I really do think that's interesting,
Makima said and took another sip. Aki thought for a moment and then spoke. It's interesting and nothing more. He's nothing but a useless boy. Only people with goals or convictions serve public safety. But him, he said all he wanted is to live the easy life. He isn't fit for public safety. The boy ain't right, Makama. Not to mention, he thinks you can become friends with the devil. Ain't that silly? He's not conservative enough. He's just a brat. He's just some brat. Meanwhile, out in the fields, the bus dropped off Denji and and Power, and they've stood up before a field where a house stood alone on top of a hill.
"'Tis that house,"
Power said, pointing outward.
"Nyaka and the devil are in there."
"Huh? Let's get our butts over there," Denji said, and started walking. He led the way with an axe in his hand. "Man, I don't really want to go all chainsaws on it because I'll get faint."
"Oh, go chainsaws,"
Power said, tantalized by by the term of chainsaws. "Yeah, I could turn into chainsaws. Ain't that awesome?"
"Humans just are so unamusing. You're dumb."
And as they got closer to the house, Power got ahead of him. "Huh?
"Yeah, what is it?"
Isn't it gonna use your cat as a hostage if you show up? You can't come this close with me, right?"
"Oh, was that in my story?"
"Story?" Denji said.
"Oh, it's a slip of the tongue." "It was,"
Power said, leading him on. They would pause for a second. They were very, very quiet. Denji swung his axe. Blood splurted out of Power's wrist and started taking form. And suddenly they swung their weapons. And as Denji missed, Power successfully conked him on the head with the mallet. Blood splurted out of his forehead. "Oh!" And he collapsed onto the ground. "Oh!" And as his blood dripped off the blood hammer, Denji twitched like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
"He's a fool, but he had good intuition."
Power said as she dragged him up the staircase, with each step banging his head. She pulled him inside and threw him in. His blood smeared across the floor.
You made me wait for."
"Oh, you made me wait." No. "You made me wait for quite some time, blood devil. I thought you run away." And the door slammed to the sound of the weird voice. "Don't complain,"
"Don't complain."
She said.
"I had to wait that long till I could finally get outside too, you know."
And standing before Power was a large, giant bat. It stood in the corner, staring out at her, towering over her. Denji laid over a whole bunch of books near the bookcase. To which she said,
"Bat, I brought you a human, just as you wished."
"My first meal in so long."
"A young male, eh? Looks like I'll get to drink blood brimming with life force."
And the bat grabbed Denji, crushing his body, waking him up. "Gah! Oh, what are you? And what is Dad pointing at me?" "Look at my arm, human. You dang humans gave me this wound." "Oh, I thought it was something else. Below." "This infernal wound forced me to hide my grand self." "Like I care, idiot." Denji stared at the bat with no fear in his eyes. "My meal barks, huh? Well, humans carved this wound upon me." The bat lifted Denji above, his mouth opened wide. "So it'll heal with human blood." And with a single squeeze, Denji's blood gushed out of his mouth. "Gah!" And it poured onto the tongue of the bat. And the bat drank it slowly and slowly until it realized he started to his tongue went crazy. You taste disgusting. He threw Denji to the ground face first, smashing his head. And the stub of where his arm was grew out into claws. Nah, I've gone and regenerated. And with one swing, the new arm bashes through the roof, crashing all the debris into the ground. From disgusting blood because of you, the bat said. And he jumped out. Oh, okay. And now he stood on top of the roof, staring at the city below. What a revolting taste! I'll have to eat other humans to get rid of this taste. Ah. And Power stared up into the spotlight of where the roof was wide open. Denji looked up at her and remembered Aki's words. What do you want? To be friends with the devil, boy? And Denji's eyes scowled at her.
I can't believe you took my story for truth,
Power said with her eyes beaming right back at him.
Humans really are foolish.
To be continued. Chainsaw Man. Chapter 6. Time for the review. Alright. This was some good characterization of Power. We got to see what she can do. We got to see her craziness. No hesitation to slap Denji. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Power. I really love Power, quite honestly. Oh man, she's definitely a great character. Sorry, I don't want to get too ahead. Spoilers. But she has a great power. She's the Blood Devil. She can make mallets and other weapons out of blood, especially this big one, in which she bashed this thing apart. Great design of the sea cucumber. Very gruesome. It's all fingers on it. The sea cucumber. Is it really the sea cucumber? I'll have to look at the translation to get the proper name on it. But that is one freaky looking thing. But you gotta admit, the gore is pretty cool. The monster gore here. Pretty hilarious when she landed. I don't know. I'm not sure what more to say, but let me tell you something. This is some berserk levels of art with her covered in the blood and and freaking out on the whole thing. Yeah, let me see here. Here's the Japanese language one. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but try to be careful here. Just to contrast. Let's see. Is it this here? I'm almost there. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you can really see the grittiness with Power here. Here, let me zoom in for all of you real quickly, just so you can see what this is. This is what the in the Japanese language one. It's a little bit more darker on a piece of paper as opposed to digital, and you can see that she's going ga ha 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 ha, which really matches up with what is written on there. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good to translate in terms of the ga ha ha. I don't know about the rest of the translation though, but you can see like really all very graphic details. I can see the fingernails on the fingers, the skull cracked and everything. You can see her fangs, the craziness in her eyes. Very much captures what she's all about. And what's also good is more world building. We see how we get it's established here from Makima through backstory exposition. How the police will act once you show the badge. They're like, hey, screw you, go away, just like that. So pretty good world build here. The police are firmly aware of the devils and everything. It looks like everybody's aware of the devils, but society treats it like more of a nuisance, like vermin. They treat it more like vermin than the actual level threat that it is in that sense. And they also have the cleanup crew, of course. So it's got some good world building, but this was all about power and what she can do, how much power she literally has, and we're getting some more insight into Makima characterization, because she's kind of freaking out here over Makima. She is freaking out over Makima, and that's very interesting to see there. To see, and we also can see that she really likes to screw Denji over. Anything else? No, just establishing Denji's love for boobs as always. But we also get to see a more, again, proving Denji's point to Aki that you can be friends with the devil. And here's power, taking care of a cat. She sees the cat more of a friend than a human. But as we will find out in the next chapter, where her motives are. But nevertheless, there's some kindness, some level of kindness in there, and that shows that that the devils are. I don't want to say just human, but there's like a sense of humanity in them. Apparently, like what happened in the previous chapter, when they met the fiend, where the guy had the crazy demon head and everything. Once they possess a human, the devils tend to lose the insane instincts that they have. You know, that eldritch Cthulhu like instincts, and attaining a human form has an effect on them, and it depends on what human they get. Apparently, this young girl that Power took over must have been a nice girl, and so Power, the Blood Devil, whatever type of evil it possessed or anything, got pushed to the side by being in this human form. At least that's the way it's being presented here. And, it ends with Denji being like, yeah, I'm going to kill the devil for taking the cat because I have a chance at scoring. Then we come to chapter 16 where we get some more established world rules here. The organization really makes sure that that the devils are kept in check. These fiends here that are helping out with a curfew, at least in terms of power, because she's not kept in check very well, and Aki made sure of that. They had a very nice conversation about what it means to be humans, what pets mean to a devil, and you can see the distance between the two. And we find out that the organization's got something shady going on regarding the politics, the word politics. Interestingly enough, this is actually set in present time. What is it, 2000, like the 2010s? I think this is supposed to be set in the 2010s, or at least the early 2020s, and there's still a Soviet Union. Or is this set further back? They didn't exactly establish the date here. So it's very interesting that they're talking about the Soviet Union when it's long gone. So that's a very interesting clue going on here. It's a very, very interesting thing. And Japan has a political issue regarding America because it seems that there's rumors going around that the military is weaponizing the devils, much like this organization is doing that Makima here, and they're just trying to keep her in check. And they have this crazy conversation together regarding about the rules of how the devils work, and it's very interesting that what they're establishing here is devils get conjured up by humans, from what they're saying here, and that it's built off of fear. It says, where does it say here? The more that the name is feared, the more powerful the devil is itself. That conjures up the mental image of getting run over. So whenever the devils do something, I don't know. I'm not clear on the rules yet, but basically, she establishes Taki that Denji's the Chainsaw Devil. So that's actually coming off as a big deal here. But Aki doesn't care because feats and stuff. And then we get the deception and a nice, awesome drawing of the big giant bat here. The big giant bat, the face very frightening looking. The size in comparison to the house, it's pretty amazing. You can see that it's squatted down and so on. And we get the finishing touch of a very nicely elaborate, detailed town that the the Bat Devil's looking out at. As you can see, Fujimoto-san really went the extra mile with the buildings there in the background in terms of putting in the windows and such. So yeah, it's pretty good. And we find and of course, you know, she still thinks Denji is a human. So. And left Denji questioning what Aki has been saying. So overall, 2 good chapters, more world building, very good for the storytelling, nicely paced along here, and very interesting, with the world build, that there's still a Soviet Union running around, and people, and that the devils get stronger by fear. See how much further that that actually goes. So, that's Chainsaw Man. That is Chainsaw Man. Thank you all for joining me. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe down below, and head on over to the Patreon. They're still polling up. If you want to choose which manga you'd like for me to read, and pun far each other for which of the 3 you would like for me to tackle. So, with all that said, I'll see you all next time for more Chainsaw Man, and I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.